Understanding consumer behavior.
In the competitive environment that exists today, no longer can you take the consumer for granted. According to research, only 8% of new product concepts offered by 112 leading companies reach the market. Out of that, 83% failed to meet marketing objectives. This makes it important for you to understand when, why, how, and where people do or do not buy a product. This is the study of consumer behavior. It blends elements from psychology, sociology, social anthropology, and economics. It attempts to understand the buyer's decision-making process, both individually and in groups. It follows from the previous slide that after studying this lesson, you should be able to define consumer behavior, differentiate between customer and consumer, trace the evolution of marketing concepts, understand the strategic applications of consumer behavior, analyze the consumer research process. What do you see as the difference between a consumer and a customer? Consumers can be said to be the end users, while customers are those who make purchases. These people may or may not necessarily use the product themselves. Marketing concept evolved in the late 1950s. After World War II, there was a great demand for almost all sort of products, and marketing philosophy was to produce cheap goods and make them available at as many places as possible. You can mark that the field of consumer behavior is deeply rooted in this concept. Next came the concept of product orientation, which assumes that consumers will buy the product that offers them highest quality in terms of performance and features. Then evolved the selling orientation. Under this, the marketer is primarily focused on selling the product that is unilaterally decided to produce. This is known as hard sell. But with the changing times, marketers realized they could sell more goods if they produced only those that they had first confirmed consumers would buy. Thus, consumer needs and wants became the marketer's primary focus. This consumer-oriented marketing approach came to be called as marketing concept. The study of consumer behavior would not have been required at all if marketing could be standardized. But cross-cultural styles, habits, tastes prevents such standardization. The discipline of consumer behavior has borrowed heavily from concepts developed in other disciplines of study such as psychology, sociology, social psychology, cultural anthropology, and economics.
Now let us participate in an activity based on our learning of the concepts of consumers. What do you see as the difference between personal consumer, B2B consumer, and organizational consumer? Such as some examples of the commodities or services that each of them will use.
Since the study of consumer behavior helps in identifying unfulfilled needs and wants of consumers, it requires examining the trends and conditions operating in the marketplace, consumer lifestyles, income levels, and emerging influences. This often reveals unsatisfied needs and presents a new opportunity to be availed. A review of market opportunity often helps in identifying distinct consumer segments with very distinct and unique wants and needs. Identifying these groups, learning how they behave, and how they make purchase decisions enables the marketer to design and market products or services particularly suited to their wants and needs. Once unsatisfied needs and wants are identified, the marketer has to determine the right mix of product, price, distribution, and promotion. In modern times, the concept of societal marketing has become very popular. Consumers have become socially aware and they are coming out in numbers to support social causes. Consumer behavior studies are useful to design marketing strategies by social, governmental, and not-for-profit organizations to develop their programs such as family planning, AIDS awareness, domestic violence, etc. Consumer research is the set of methods used to identify the needs and develop products and services to satisfy those needs. Consumer research process involves 6 major steps, which is defining research objectives, collecting and evaluating secondary data, primary research design, collecting primary data, analyzing data, and report preparation.
Now let us check if we have understood the various concepts discussed in this lesson clearly. Consumer is engaged in purchasing process for his own use, right or wrong? Right. Quantitative study is used mostly to generate new ideas, right or wrong? Wrong. Consumer is regular purchaser from a specific store or company. Right or wrong? Wrong.
Before we end, let us briefly revise what we've studied till so far. Our consumption related behavior influences new product development and success and failure of business. Consumer behavior refers to the observable behavior of consumers during searching, purchasing and post-consumption of product or services. The study of consumer behavior involves interplay of number of variables are not visible to an observer. The study of consumer behavior involves what they buy, how they buy it, when they buy it, where they buy it, and what are the post-purchase activities. The study of consumer behavior is deeply rooted in the marketing concept.
Consumer behavior activities can help unearth much information to help marketers to segment markets, selection of target segments, developing the positioning strategy, and develop appropriate marketing mixes for different markets. Consumer research is an integral part of marketing research and makes use of a set method to explore and predict consumer behavior to identify their needs, preferences, etc. The information so collected helps developing products and services. The information so collected helps developing products and services and other marketing mix activities to influence consumer behavior. The research process includes a series of steps which the researcher has to undertake. The research design is selected depending on the purpose of the study. For all descriptive information, quantitative research designs are helpful. And if the purpose is to generate new ideas, then qualitative research techniques can be used. When the knowledge is viewed as time, culture, and context dependent, and consumption is viewed as symbolic system, the research so conducted is mostly based on depth interviews and is qualitative in nature. Quantitative research is used to collect hard data, make use of observation, experimentation, and survey methods.